few weeks ago, I did Digimon. Now let's talk about Digimon's movies. We talked about the basic shows and some of the storylines and that stuff. We're now talking about the movies, including the one that you all hate. What is that? Let's find out. Hey everyone, the Michael Explosive Michael Bailey here for another edition of something I don't know yet. Still working a title for God's sake. I hope I get a. I sometimes feel like getting a second channel, but no, I'm gonna keep this channel because the government doesn't give care. But today we're gonna talk about Digimon again. This time the movies, which I did explain in the first video for some movies, but we're gonna get the movies their own special treatment. And the next time I do Digimon, I might do the basic analogy of it because I'm a composite of a freaking Pokemon, aka Bayleaf. But anyhow, that's myself. Let's go on to the movies. We start off with a movie that's technically the very first Digimon storyline. Digimon the movie, which I'm going to completely call that for the first movie itself because it's more of an origin story for both Tai and his sister Kairi, or whatever her name is. I think it's Kairi. I don't know. But the point is, this movie's about Agumon evolving up to Greymon as a movie. This pilot movie is technically an origin exposition that goes on with the end of the season one. But yeah, this pilot movie is okay. Good origin way to start a show. That's good for me. Next up is the biggest Digimon movie, in my opinion, the most famous one. Digimon, the movie, Our Little War Game. This movie is basically the middle of this American Digimon movie, which we will explain in a moment. But the point is, this movie is good. Like, this movie becomes the inspiration for freaking Summer Wars, a Japanese movie that's awesome and badass, even if the timeline is like 8 years dated at the time of this recording. Yeah, 2018 was like that. But anyhow, point is that was more for social media and still modern stuff, so it's not really dated. It's like a Facebook parody. But anyhow, point is back to Digimon. This movie has a villain named Diaboromon, who becomes the main villain of another movie, which we will explain after the ship movie. But anyhow, point is, this movie is also the debut of Omnimon, the most powerful Digimon in Tai and Matt's arsenal if they fuse together both DNA Digivolves, or in the Japanese name is Jagras. Yes, I have to do the joke. Oh, it's just like jogging. Yeah, that's basically what it is. I'm sorry. The freaking clip, that clip from uh uh freaking movie Anchorman joke is so funny to me. God, that's stupid. But yeah, point is, this movie's great. Good setup, even if 4 of the 8 main characters show up in the movie. In this movie, even if the first movie only had like all the characters, but only briefly at the end, like going, what was that sort of moment. But yeah, point is, this movie is, both season 1 movies are just setups. Now let's talk about season 2. Season 2 movies are basically one that's like a pilot, a teaser for season 3's Terriermon and his chocolate counterpart. Yes, I know chocolate counterpart is Lopunimon or whatever, but I don't know his actual name, so I call it Chocolate Terriermon. I'm not like that kind of looks like a chocolate version of myself. Yeah, I'm sorry. What's chocolate, what's mint, but yeah, for the dark chocolate, sorry. But yeah, point is, this movie's great. The plot of aging with the kids are kind of crappy in the movie coming up, but anyhow, point is, this movie does it better, where basically in this movie it's like a time limit of villains playing. Technically, it's more disturbing in this movie than it was. Also, the debut of both Angelmon and final form of Patamon and Gatamon's final forms, even if Gatamon's final form is a different final form than in the canon. Technically, this makes sense of season 4 because that's the version for that, but that's too little far to tell. Let's talk about, oh yeah, I gotta talk about the shitty movie. Yes, the first 3 movies got merged together for an American dub. This dub is awful. Do not watch it. Watch the original. even if now you get the originals now on DVD, re-edited dubs as a DVD collection, even if the old movie is now a bonus feature. Anyhow, let's go back to see still in season 2 with the second season 2 movie, and that is Revenge of the Aboromon. Basically, this movie and all of season three's movies came out in between seasons 4 and 5. But anyhow, their season this the movies up to this point are better for some of them. But anyhow, this movie's good. Season 2 movie is a good fight with them powering up with their DNA Digivolve of season 2, teaming up with season 1 to form a god form, which is like the fourth most powerful Digimon. But anyhow, that movie's good with pure Ultramon Paladin mode. That's a movie exclusive fusion with that and Omnimon. Kind of badass and great, but anyway, movie's good. Now let's get meta with season 2. 3 movies. Season three's movies are basically one in between towards the beginning of the show. This movie is kind of filler, kind of not a good movie. Like, it's kind of filler, even if they showed their power up for their stage 3, their ultimate forms in this movie as their alternate debut. Technically, this movie's good, but kind of basic. Next up is season 3's second movie, which is basically a trade. Yes, a freaking train is in this movie with Loco Locomon. Basically, this movie is on a train where the characters try to stop Loco Locomon. Basically, this movie has a villain. I don't want to spoil, but technically, the parts that I can spoil if you saw the show is they give you the backstory for the Rika's backstory, plus they give you Gallimon's angel form or whatever, the super form, Crimson mode. Like Crimson mode, Gallimon shows up in this movie, or Dukemon. Basically, this Crimson mode debuts in this movie, even if it shows up in the final episode. Spoilers, but you know this if you're a fan. But boy, this movie's good. Next up is season 4. Season 4 only has one movie, same thing with season 5, but season 4 movie is like the worst this movie in my opinion. Even if I haven't seen much of it, but I know it has ancient mode, versions of both fire and light attributes. Go watch the show if you want to know more about the gooder version, but this movie's just filler. Next up is more filler with Digimon. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to do freaking X Antibody. Technically, the X Antibody movies in between seasons 4 and 5. Same thing with the original movies in America, but in Japan we got the X Antibody movie, directed by the same people who would later go on to do both TMNT 07 and the Asteroid reboot. The latter one, do not talk about. That's awful. But yeah, point is, this movie is good. Good, but very crappy effect for a made-for-TV CGI movie. Kind of good, kind of bad, but it's still interesting being based on World 4, which is awful game. Worst of the world games, in my opinion, but that's it. Next up is Season 5. Season 5 has one movie, and this movie's more of a filler movie. Not a good movie, not a bad movie, just feels like the plot is basically Agumon and all the Digimon lose their partners and have to help a little girl to grab their partners back from the villain. And it's basically the villain wants to do plan, which is weird because this movie kind of feels like a Danny Phantom episode, like the penultimate Danny Phantom main episode, special episode. And that is the plan episode. But technically, this movie's also done by that villain's voice actor in Japan was this series is Agumon, which is weird because Agumon in this series is more badass than the original Agumon, which is cute. This one's more edgy because early 2000 Japan feels like late 90s America. Sorry, that was a joke. But the point is, that's it for the main movies. Now let's talk about some of the OVAs, which are technically movies after it, but I will explain. We're starting with Digimon Adventure Try, a 6-part OVA movie series about the destined from season 1 battling a new foe 15 years later. Technically, this movie is good, Kind of great, kind of badass up for a reunion. Wish it was canon. Sorry about that. But next up is Last Revolution. Last Evolution is technically a movie that wraps up the original show's characters and a final story of their discovering why the adults they lose their Digimon sort of story now that they're growing up. Technically, this movie's okay, not bad, kind of okay with the standard versions of Agumon and Garurumon, but technically, this movie is good. Very good, but very sad, plus a few jokes about porn. Sorry. But anyhow, the porn joke is basically freaking Agumon's like, dirty maggot, what are these dirty figs? And it's really, you know what it is. Sorry I said that, but yeah, boys. Next up is our last real movie in Digimon. Digimon Zero Two. Technically, Zero Two's movie, New Beginnings, is a time travel plot. Kind of bad, kind of okay, but this movie is awesome. I haven't seen it yet, but I do like the plot of the movie being a sequel to Last Evolution, but more of a origin to explain the prehistory of the first Digidestined sort of plot. Good movie. I'm excited to see it sometime. Not sure if it's in English yet, but I might watch it eventually. But that's it for Digimon movies. But mostly Digimon movies are less common than Pokemon movies. Like there's like 12 movies, if you maybe 20, 16 if you count all of the Tri movies as like separate movies. But point is, Digimon Adventure, badass series, but better than Pokemon's better anyhow. And speaking of that, god damn it, where's the code man? Okay, I'm disappointed with the clicking, but anyhow, what is it? Well, the command wants us to do training now, so exposition, farewell stuff, or training. Why is he still training even if he's retiring soon? Well, because he's now getting more important stuff. I don't know if what's going on, but I can't tell you. Meanwhile, yeah, that's right. Basically, everyone knows Bioyan is replacing me if you saw my Hopper video off screen. If you haven't seen it, go watch that video. Leave a comment down below if you like Michael Bailey's video on Digimon, again, with the movie. But if you like that, leave a comment down below. This is coming saying bye-bye for now. And leaving soon, but officially bye-bye for now.